Alright, so the rear is going to be a little bit different process because it's got the emergency brake built into it. So we'll show you this process here. Yeah, you can see these things are ate up pretty good. Now you can definitely see it's been wearing bad. So definitely time. Alright, so the inner caliper bracket bolt is a 14 millimeter. Let's see if I can access it. All right. Okay. These things are rusted up pretty bad, so we're just gonna have to kind of make this work here. Yeah, they're rusted up pretty bad. So let's grab a hammer. Yeah, we're gonna have to. So that one is rusted pretty good. So that's off. The bearing feels good and tight. So this is what we got to deal with next. Is that square, or that big T in there. They do make a special tool for this. You can get them from your local parts store. Let me grab that and show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is a couple of options. This is a Mac. You can buy this square kit from places like your local parts stores. They're not real expensive. They used to be like 10 bucks. I'm sure they're a lot more now. Fits multiple applications. You can see I had to grind this one down. I was working on another vehicle, which I did, a newer vehicle, which I did not have the correct kit for. So I ground this down to make it work. I'm not afraid of doing that. So this is a little bit different setup. This goes in, and you actually put a wrench here and tighten this, and that turns and puts pressure as you're turning. The square, you got to take a wrench and slowly push it in, but this does two different things at the same time. So they make multiple different sizes, so the big thing right now is making sure you get the right size, and that's the right size. So I'm gonna move the camera around because I'm right-handed, so try and give you a little bit better access to this here. So we're basically gonna So now we're gonna get a wrench, tighten this up. Let me go grab the right sizes, and we'll show you what happens. All right, so we got this locked in. Basically, we're just keeping that head solid. And we're just gonna kind of work that. Open it the right way. It's not working right. All right, so get that where it is square. Now we're gonna undo . Okay, so now the piston is compressed back into place. So now it's a matter of putting the rotor in, doing the exact same thing we did on the front to this side here. All right, so we've got the caliper compressed. I went ahead and cleaned this, cleaned up the, we're gonna put a little bit more grease in, but I wanted to show you again how we do it here. So we're going to take your slide pin. We've already cleaned the inside. Take some of that grease, just smear it on a little bit, and then what I do to make sure it gets plenty of grease in there is stick it down in there. You see, without dropping it. And just kind of spin it, let the grease grab a hold, and just kind of spin it, work it down. And just clean up the extra. And that's all there is to it. Make sure you get all the air out. And we're going to do it again on the other side. Get a nice coating in there. A little bit on the tip. And just work it in. That's all there is to that. Next, we're going to clean up the new rotor. So we're going to slide it on backwards, Yes, I know it's backwards, but I want to clean that oil off of that. And make sure your screws are in the right spot. We'll go ahead and spray that down real quick. All right. Then we're going to take our screws and just kind of get them started in there. Oh, I did not put any anti-seize on that. So, I'm going to take it all back off, which ain't no big deal. As you see, I did take a wire wheel and clean that up. So we're just going to take some anti-seize. A little bit goes a long way. And that'll also help with the wheel from, you know, seizing into place. So all right, and then just to clean up my fingerprints, and that's the nice thing about brake clean, is it dries out pretty quick. So all right, next step is to take your so we got new ones we're going to put in the caliper, and they offer 2 different ones for this particular one, so we'll make sure we get the right one on there. But we can go ahead and get these in place, and basically what this is doing is just keeping that brake pad seated so it doesn't have any movement. It's kind of like a shim. So that's the it is somewhat important. I see a lot of vehicles that they do them themselves and they don't have these sitting in there, and they are complaining of noise. So without that in place, you're going to get some kind of noise. So because of the way this thing is designed, it is easier to go ahead and get this somewhat set in place, because this caliper is such a pain because of the way it's designed. Right here. Get it. Alright, so this one just keeps popping off. No big deal. Alright, so we're going to take this caliper one off. Alright, so it's this style. So now we got to make sure, obviously, that one's not going to work. So it's going to be this one here. So now we get the fun of putting this thing back in place. Which it goes in a whole lot easier than it came out. All right. All right, now we were fortunate on these brake pads here. They do say inner right and outer. So go ahead and set these in place. All right, now one thing I do want to point out is this T. There are, on these brake pads, are set in there with the notch. That's got to line up properly. This is for the parking brake, so make sure your T, one of the lines, is facing flush. So you could see where the line will actually lock it into place. So now it's just a matter of fighting this cable for the parking brake. Alright, so what I did is I just took that screw for the parking brake, and now we will go ahead and get one bolt started up here, and we have to, because of this here, you got constant pressure on the brake pads to prevent them from moving, so you got to kind of put a little bit of pressure on this caliper to get this lower bolt in, or up, or however you decide to do it. And it's a lot better if you don't have a camera in the way. Okay. All right. And just kind of so that's done. Last thing we're going to do is go ahead and tighten up these screws here. And that just broke my bit. So, no big deal. I've got more. So, we got this side done. We'll go to the next side and do it again. All right, so we got the brakes done all the way around. Most important thing to do is hit the brake pedal several times before starting the vehicle or moving the vehicle in any way. Make sure that pedal comes up, because right now, before pressing the brake pedal, the pistons were all the way closed, so they were in the furthest position. So when you hit the brake and you're backing it off or moving it around, you have no brakes until that piston seats properly. So you got nothing. So hit the brake pedal several times. That way you know you got brakes. So when you go to seat the brake pads in, you have a good solid pedal. So because I'm running here by myself, there is a process for seating the brake pads properly. There are several ways to do it. I recommend driving 30 miles an hour, applying the brakes slowly to a stop, getting back up to 30 miles an hour, applying the brakes slowly, letting it come down to a stop, do it a third time, and then 60 miles an hour, do the same thing. You want to do it 3 times. And in between each time, you want to let those brake rotors and pads cool down some. So that's how you properly seat it. Because I'm running here solo today, I can't go out and drive it. So it'll sit in the parking lot until I get extra hands here to help me. So that's the brakes on a Honda Civic. So hope you like the video. Hit the subscribe and the like. Thanks.